Welcome to the first ever edition of the always magic, never boring Eerste FC Union Berlin highlights show, live from the Outer Forsterij. Almost. We're back, and after the endless waiting of pre-season, from being pampered on the lawns of the Adidas campus to soaking in the torrential rain of Brandenburg and Ahrensfelde, their grey skies lit up by the debuts of Elias and Andrik and Duja. From the sunshine of Linz and Vienna and the waves of adulation for Leo and particularly Christopher Trimmel after the new kits and the new sponsors and the new trainers, and the additions of Livan and Stanley and Derek and Ilias and Oliver and Matteo and Dimitro, and after that run of 1-0s against Espanyol and Olympiacos and Furt and Schweinfurt that made us wonder at all what the hell the point of all this really was. Yes, Uniona, as is traditional, the men's first team had to travel for the first round of the Cup to, I'm just kidding, to Gütersloh, thank you. Well, we know from bitter experience how tricky these ties can be, so the ice needed to be broken, and Robert Skov had had enough of waiting.
Fairfeld's got the first free kick. Will Robert Skov get the second? It is Skov! It's into the far corner. Union's goal drought is over, as Robert Skov gets his first ever goal in the DFB Pokal. Matuszewski anticipated wrong. He's beaten on the goalkeeper's side, and Union Berlin have liftoff.
Yes, the worries of the traditional tough start in the Cup were cast to the breeze as easily as the stink of a meat processing plant in the distance. And following Skov's wonderful free kick, the floodgates opened with goals coming from Leo Querfeld, Andrej Ilic, Wu Yongjong.
Corner now flicked on dangerously and turned home at the back post. It's Querfeld with the second. Neat combination play, Harbour in behind, picking out Ilic. But it produces a fourth goal. Ilic getting in on the goal-scoring act with a goal on his DFB Pokal debut. And Union are running away with it now, showing his strength, and again. Ilic to Jong! And it's 5. It feels harsh on Gütersloh, but there's no doubting that Union Berlin are good value for their lead. From a goal drought to scoring 5 times unanswered, they've booked their ticket to the second round.
And not forgetting Rani Khedira. I mean, that was really yours, yeah, Rani?
Klimmel's corner. Oh, chaos in the box. It's turned home. They've got a third. And Union's dead ball situations are proving deadly.
5-0 at the end seemed about fair. It was dealt with professionally, or as they say here in Germany, sack, sack. Remember this time last year when we squeaked through in Greifswald? Reminds me of the eternal words of Kierkegaard. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Sorry, boss. That was just the start, of course. The first day of the new Bundesliga season was looming. The best day of the year, when old friends meet in familiar spots on the terrace, when everything is possible, when the warmth of expectation blossoms in the summer sun. Hit it.
Feeling hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm just joking, of course, Uniona. The skies over Köpenick cleared soon enough for the season to start with the reprise of a rivalry with VfB Stuttgart. Frankly, start with a belter. Yes, the sight of 30-foot 2001 Unioner of the Year and hero of the run to the Cup final, Sven Boyschert at full stretch, soaring across the length of the Gegengerade and around the old scoreboard to meet an Adidas tango on the Waldseite, as a ticker-tape explosion of rainbow glitter and red, white and yellow streamers left Freddie Renault's box strewn. Halt dich an deiner Liebe fest. Hold tight to your love, read the message. A quote from the great Rio Reiser, Berlin-born, king of Germany, all-round genius and one-time squatter of what would become Kreuzberg's Rauchhaus. Frankly, it was stunning. Freddie, of course, was implied in the message too, having just picked up his 3rd Unioner of the Year award in a row. Only one other player in history had done this, another keeper, the great Jan Glinka. But almost as soon as the pitch had been cleared, Freddie was already making his case for a 4th in a row. Stop the vote! But if Freddie was the armour that defended a superb all-round display, the flashing blade and battering ram was supplied by newcomer Ilya Zanzar, whose partnership with Andrei Ilic showed promise not seen in the partnership since Bert and Ernie first got into bed together, who played with his front to goal and with his back to goal, who showed elegance, pace, intelligence and power, all in equal measure. But the burning question was, of course, if he could finish. But this was Ilias's first ever Bundesliga game and only his second for Union. I mean, he couldn't do it again, surely. Stop the vote! It's not as wild as last time, that insane 4-4 first half and all of that, but this was still a fantastic game, a thrilling spectacle, enlivened by Thiago Thomas' astonishing flick, one we'd show here if we had any kind of pretensions towards balance, and Nick Volter-Marder's disallowed 96th minute stab over the line. Sorry, it is that kind of a show. It was one of those days, the kind that will leave you floating home, smiling for days. An absolute bloody pleasure. Just look at Stefan and Ilyas after the final whistle. Anyway, talking of great days, the women are still the Zweite Liga champions. Sorry, I'll never get bored of saying that. It still seems like yesterday. But after all the waiting, we don't need to go through all of that again, though we do have to welcome Nadine and Anna and Samantha and Jenny and Tanya and Sophie and Eileen and Hannah, get well soon Hannah, to the team. And they faced a trip to play the Bundesliga second place side, Champions League quarter-finalists VfL Wolfsburg. Needless to say, for Eileen Purzer's Zweite Liga champions, it's the last time. Reputations mean little. Sophie Vidal bagged her first goal for Union and Nelly Bauer-Eisen got a second in a 2-0 win. They made look as much of a Sunday routine as the hungover flicking between endless Schlager shows and religious broadcasting on morning TV.
Naika Reisner hat viel Platz und viel Zeit und legt quer auf Sophie Weidauer. Neuzugang vom SV Werder Bremen schiebt ein zum ersten Treffer des Tages in der 20. Spielminute zum 1-0. Für Union Berlin und das haben sie sich absolut verdient. Ausgeführt wird von Lisa Heiseler, Kapitänin neu, die Binde bekommen in der zweiten Halbzeit und da ist das 2:0, 88. Minute und erst sieht es so aus, als wenn der Treffer an Nele Bauer-Eisen geht, aber im zweiten Hinsehen sehen wir Aras Niewicz.
But that was just the warm-up. Last weekend saw 13,000 people coming to the Outer Försterei for the friendly against Real Madrid. 13,000 people, Unioner! It was a remarkable day, and though we lost to a better side, there was much to be proud of on the pitch as well as in the stands, not to mention the sainted Dina Orschmann slipping the ball through both Rocio Galvez's legs and the eye of a bloody needle to take the roof off the Outer Försterei.
Linken Flügel. Und dann, was passiert auf der anderen Seite? Dina Orschmann, die ebenfalls 27-Jährige, mit ihrem Treffer. Union Berlin ist wieder zurück. 1:3.
The looks on the Real players' faces said it all after the final whistle. They only got twice that attendance, over 15 home games last season, and that's Real Madrid. Before we go though, we should also take a moment to big up our under-17s who won their first ever Youngster Cup, ahead of a field that included Benfica, PSG, Juventus and Porto. The future is indeed bright. So that's that for today. This weekend sees more European champions on the horizon. Dortmund for the men, Aston Villa for the women. We'll tell you all about them in a fortnight. But in the meantime, remember the choreo. Hold tight to your love, Uniona. Eisen. Music, maestro.
I let the ship